All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of Project Spotlight, where we shed light on the innovators and basically the people who are building tomorrow. And today I have Dave with me. Dave is the founder of Buildathon, and he has been on this thing for a while, and he has been he has been the logo basically. He has been cutting soap for a lot of people, and he has really been out there everywhere. So, hello, Dave. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you clearly.
Awesome. So GM everyone. I'm Dave, and I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I love teaching. I love imparting people with knowledge to onboard them into the Web3 ecosystem. Basically, that's what I do. So thank you for having me.
All right, pleasure's all ours, Dave. All right, so let's start this way. Why? Let's start with the why and the what. Like, okay, why did you establish the build? What made you decide to say, okay, I want to do this? Like, was there like an experience or something? Did something happen that made you decide, okay, I am going to create the build? Can you share that with us?
All right, so the build is a community-based approach to address some of the challenges that we kind of like encounter here in the underrepresented region. Underrepresented region in the sense that we consider the northern Nigeria as an underrepresented region, like when you talk about Web3, right? So we envisioned a safe space where people could come, learn, understand the rudiments of Web3, kind of like onboard themselves, kind of like a very solid environment for you to come, network, collaborate with the community of developers, like understand some of the things that are really unclear in the ecosystem and find your footing. So that's what necessitated the whole idea of TheBuidl. So TheBuidl is community owned in the sense that there was a need to equip people with the necessary Web3 skills, especially in the development ecosystem, right? So that's basically that. So what we do at the video is to train people, also enable them to undergo series of research and kind of like a very veritable approach for building solutions in the ecosystem. So that is what the build is all about, and we are very excited about the results that we have witnessed in the couple of months, and we're still pushing hard. So the build is here as a training, research, and development stroke innovation grid, right? So where young minds gotta learn. When they learn, they undergo a series of research and also master how to contribute to open source projects. When they do that, they also understand how to build for scale. Then eventually um, get, if they have innovative ideas, they kind of contribute their already existing experience and knowledge into building their own scalable applications, and that is what the build is all about. So I'm happy to be here to talk more about all of the challenges and all of the things that you have as question in this session. Thank you.
All right, that's great. That's great. Where I come from, there's this saying about how it basically translates to if something is going to be really good, if something is going to be really big, it's going to encounter some challenges. So, what would you say were the initial challenges you encountered while setting up the project, while setting up the building? Like, what were the challenges, and how would you say you overcame such challenges?
Okay, so first of all, the Buidl is at this point, we set out to address the problem of equipping developers, right? So it's not really most of the time easy because all the time, um, mostly kind of like to a large extent, you are trying to do something that I think when we started earlier, before we moved to our dedicated space, so we have a community called Blockheader Web3. So Blockheader Web3 was our community where we actually train developers, and um, expose them to all of the possibilities of Web3 in the development ecosystem, right? So now we have the TheBuidl, which is our dedicated research and facility, right? So when we started, it's very, 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 very. I think back then it was because all there were nobody to kind of like help you out. Like you we all we did was to kind of like find our footing in this space. Like you're not looking at any existing roadmap. You just you're just there. You're passionate about this. You just want to see what you can do to make the whole ecosystem work, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, which is Kaduna, where we are currently based. That was one of the things that we had as mindset. So the challenges back then, it's kind of like a new part, kind of like an uncharted part. We were trying to find our footing in that in this part, right? So yeah, so basically that was the challenge, and thank God, right now, I think we a lot of people have seen that the results are there, are overwhelming, and then they want to show support. There's kind of like a roadmap, a pipeline that is very solid that have helped a lot of people to actualize their goals, and they want to um, key into what we're doing, and then that kind of like serves as reference. So it's kind of a bit easier for anybody to reference what we're doing and they want to associate with what we're doing right now. So back then it was not that easy, You're trying to like reputation, you're trying to like go through an uncharted path, especially in the region where what you're talking about is kind of like new, right? So yeah, I think we've been doing this since 2021, and the results are there. We have people who have proved their mettle in the space, contributing credibly to the growth of the ecosystem, right? Whether through open source or building their own solutions, and they've gotten like our amazing grants, and they are doing well building all of these solutions to address some of the problems that bedevil the ecosystem generally. So yeah, so that is how we fared. Yeah, so nobody believing you going through an uncharted path, but I'm glad because right now we have some level of um, traction in the sense that people kind of like reference what has been done. Traction in the sense that we have people who believe us, and these are kind of like verifiable by virtue of community members who really have proven their mettle in the space, and they are still doing so. So we are committed to doing this. We're looking at the long-term goal, how we can actually do it at scale, and attract the necessary support from the ecosystem, especially Starknet, and also to onboard more people into the ecosystem. So yeah, so that's how we fared so far in the past couple of years. Yeah.
Great, great, great. I like the idea that there's a story behind the project. There's a story. There's a clear story behind it. I like that. Okay. While talking earlier, you said something about community. You've been talking about community. How this is basically a community thing. It's basically community driven. How do you ensure that the voice and the needs of the community, because I'm sure it's a community thing, different needs arise at different points in time.
Yeah.
How
Mhm.
do you ensure they stay central? Because community, one person is coming with this, one faction is coming with this, another faction is coming with this. How do you ensure like the community's voice and needs stay central to the initiatives of the video?
Okay, so the initiative of the BUIDL, we try to align them because we have divergent opinions, people from different backgrounds, and all of that. So more or less, like it's kind of like I wouldn't want to call the BUIDL a project because at the end of the day, it's more or less a a platform to enable projects to thrive, right? So that is basically the vision, right? Not that it's a project in itself. So it's kind of like a platform enabling the advancement of or projects that we support and incubate, kind of like that. If you want to say it so, that is absolutely right. So we are the bedrock to enable other founders to thrive. So that has led to a couple of projects in the space. So for community, that's why I want to kind of like reference it as a community approach. That we have lots of people coming around. We're trying to like model them into understanding the basics of Web3, equipping them with the skills and exposing them to the possibilities of building solutions in the ecosystem, especially on Starknet. Then they have mastered all of that, contributed to open source projects. Now they have their own innovative ideas. They want to leverage all of what we have exposed them to showcase the possibility of a product, in this case, what they want to build to address some of the issues that they've seen, and they have the solution. So that's basically how I want to say TheBuidl is striving and then harmonizing all of these divergent opinions, divergent views, divergent backgrounds of persons, and we try to like model them to understand that there's a big picture. The problem here is to address issues that face us as Africans, right? Locally, you generate solutions, you build solutions that will scale, like regardless of your geographical region, right? So you have these problems, but these problems could actually be useful outside of Africa. So yeah, that is what we try to like model everybody coming around the bureau, which I want to also at every point in the course of this conversation make it clear that we're a platform to enable dreamers, builders, founders to thrive. So yeah, so that is what the video is. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Let's talk about Buildathon. Let's talk about the Buildathon. Since it started, it has grown big and everything. Can you like tell us about how it has grown over the year, how it has evolved over the years? Probably was there a way you envisioned it starting out, and has it evolved into something else? And what would you say sets it apart from other hackathons?
So thank you so much for that. The Buildlathon is our initiative to take what we believe is going to address it's going to be a game changer, right, in this space because we have a dedicated environment, a dedicated facility where all of the people who really want to participate and showcase what they are building, they are in kind of like an environment that is kind of like dedicated for this course. So yeah, so hackathons basically people could be virtual, it could be anywhere. Although the Buildlathon is kind of like open to participation for people outside of Kaduna, right? But the idea is to have kind of like a funnel, right? All of the ideas that we have filtered at the end of the hackathon, right? Upon credible review, right, we see that they have sustainable business plan and they have um, um, it's kind of like the solution they're trying to address has substantial credence, right? And it's a good business revenue model, right? We filter those products out and or have them undergo through an intense program where we have experts in the business development ecosystem to guide them to understand the rudiments outside of technology, right? So technology is on one part. You want to make sure that they are well, they've soaked in all the knowledge for them to thrive as founders, right? So it's one hand technical playground where people come and submit ideas and all of that, and they have a credible MVP that is working. And after the hackathon, we're trying to like filter all of these ideas, these solutions, and tell you say, you know what, beyond the technology, there's the business development aspects, right? So that is how we want to take the Buildlathon to a level where we are not just getting projects and submissions and all of that. We want people who really want to participate in this hackathon to address issues with the founder's mindset, with the business development mindset, right? So you have product development, we have business development, and we have software development. So most of the times people focus more on product development and software development, which is basically what you have in most hackathons, forgetting that it takes business to convert any idea to a scalable solution, right? So you want to induce people to use what you have built, right? So the people who are really coming out from this hackathon will undergo um, that process to have a product that addresses problems and have a self-sustaining model to generate revenue and we're looking at long-term plan so that they don't fall along the way. So, and again, like I mentioned, we have a dedicated pipeline, a confined space where we're going to hold them by the hand and guide them through every step of the journey till they succeed. So that is what stands the TheBuidl apart from the conventional hackathon.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for that. Earlier, you said something about okay, you spoke about Budo as representing the underrepresented north of Nigeria, Kaduna, and then the rest of northern Nigeria. So
Yeah.
I want success stories. What would you say, like from the previous build and everything? What are the success stories, and how have these success stories influenced the Web3 space and even contributed to the growth of the participants themselves? I'd like to hear that.
All right. So I want to say that our hackathons have led to, we have success stories. We have a couple of them. I think the first hackathon that we held was in 2022, where I think a couple of persons who participated in the hackathon, they kind of like knew nothing about Web3, and right now they're doing incredibly well. We have a couple of them. I think I can share some tweets that some of them who really participated in that hackathon, they kind of like testified about how their journey into the hackathon helped them to kind of like participating in that hackathon helped their journey in the Web3 space. So yeah, I think I want to share a couple of them. So I think that kind of like will serve as a valid testimony. I think they kind of like recorded their experience. I'm trying to get that tweet. So sorry, just give me a moment. So yeah, I think we have just a couple of them. They've been doing so well, and this is the belief that we know that yes, we're on the right direction. So these credible testimonies are again, I will say it lends credence to what we're doing, and I think one. I think we have another one. I think I dropped it here on the chat. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to get another one. Um, if you can actually go through that, I think that's one of the participants. I think that's great. She's doing so well in the space. I think before I think she's very popular in the space, and that is one of the things that hackathons and opportunities like this afford people to thrive. So yeah, and also have Ibrahim. I think they have their own products that is addressing learning. So kind of like anybody coming to learn Cairo and Starknet ecosystem will not have that hassle of going through the conventional tutorial, probably and documentation. So if you have a playground where you want to do drag and drop, that drag and drop is kind of like a gamified approach to learning smart contract development. That is a plus, and we will have more people onboarded into the ecosystem. Just think of it like Scratch for learning smart contract development. Then again, we have quite a number of them. I think a number of them have gotten grants. We have I'm trying to. I think one of our community members and also a mentor, Fundable. I think they're doing so well. They got some grants. I think we
Yeah.
have. Um, I'm just trying to like in my head. Um, I think all of these projects, like I mentioned, these guys have done so well in the space. So I think one of the students of I think our fourth cohort is working with one DeFi protocol on Starknet. I think as an engineer, um, we have most in Africa, right? Um, some of the guys, I think we had some collaboration with Only Dust to that kind of like enabled lots of Africans to come on board the ecosystem to understand how they can actually contribute to the growth of the ecosystem. And on the other hand, while doing that, they can actually get rewarded. I think currently only does have kind of like established a fellowship structure, and most of the people, I think most of my the people who are passed through what we do here are part of that fellowship. So yeah, I think we have a couple of them even outside of Starknet, we have guys building on Bitcoin, doing so well, building amazing solutions, and this is the promise of this is the motivation that keeps us going. Oh yeah, we're in the right direction, and we'll keep pushing. We'll keep coordinating all of our steps to actualize the overall goal, right, which is to serve like a very large funnel to onboard people into the Web3 ecosystem, right? So yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That's great to hear. Their success stories. I like the fact that you spoke about Fundable. We had them on the show last week. It's great to hear that. And talking to them it was mind blowing. It was quite mind blowing. And okay, now let's talk about the bootcamp you have coming up next month, which is the
Yeah.
Locator Web3 Cairo Bootcamp 5.0. What skills can developers expect to gain, and the you have a hybrid format which is both online and physical presence. How would this enhance the ability to build on Starknet with Cairo?
Oh yeah, so we have over time version one, version two, version three, four, and they just completed four some couple of months ago. We're looking at the fifth cohort of our Cairo bootcamp. What we do is, like I said, we want to kind of like intensify our approach to onboard more developers into the Starknet ecosystem, and that is the goal for our Cairo bootcamp 5.0, which is going to complete on the 22nd of September. So all of our mentors, technical mentors, were already we are set to onboard more people into the Starknet ecosystem by exposing them to the fundamentals of building, leveraging Cairo programming language, and also how they can start building smart contracts, and beyond that, integrate front end to these smart contracts and testing and all of that. So all of the well structured curriculum is intended to make sure that we have a very solid outcome, right? So we have more developers in the ecosystem, and afterwards we are kind of like introducing something that we have not really done before, because we've been running some node infrastructure on Starknet. So we're trying to like also focus on the infra layer, right? So outside of the app layer, we have the infra layer where few persons are looking at. Everybody's focusing on the consumer application, right? Which is very solid, which is very good. But some persons at the end of the day, everybody must not be a founder, right? Everybody must not found a project. Everybody must not address problems using Cairo to build solutions on Starknet, right? So persons who really have DevOps background, I think I have in a couple of um, countless times they reach out to me. Oh, I have this skill. I am an infra um, 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 engineer, and I'm really interested in Starknet, but how do I come in? Because they really do not want to write smart contract, right? So how do they come in? So yeah, this could be an opportunity for anybody interested in building and contributing to the infra of Starknet, right? So Starknet recently adopted um, a community consensus to push version, I think 14.0, right? So that will mean that we have a decentralized sequencer, right? Currently, I think it's centralized. So this will enable, can you hear me? Yeah, so
Yeah, I
this
can
will
hear you.
enable anybody to, if you have your validator running, you can actually have opportunity to be part of the centralization goal of Starknet. And this is something that we want to play a very credible role, because we have our validator clients running both on Sequoia and on Mainnet. So, and we're building amazing tools of this. We're not just consuming and running all of these node infrastructure. We are building credible solutions to enable anybody to seamlessly run all of these toolings, right? So I think one of the things that we recently launched was a very simple tool that enables you to run an L1 and L2 node, right? So that's Stack Node Kit. And I want to kind of like promote it so that people can actually see the possibilities that outside of the consumer applications, you could leverage the your knowledge about infra to that's the decentralized feature of Starknet, right? So you can actually contribute to the growth of this decentralized feature of Starknet, right? So by building tools and contributing to open source projects and make the network resilient and solid enough to withstand any future attack or threats. So yeah, so that is what we intend to incorporate in Cairo Cairo Bootcamp 5.0. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Uh, I keep referring to I keep saying earlier because I try to refer to things you've said in the past about how earlier on you said something about how you can uh, people who are with the video can build things that are useful for Africa and the world in general. So,
Yeah.
how would you say you as a person perceive the role of African developers in the global Web3 ecosystem, and
So
how
yeah,
is the video contributing to amplifying their presence and everything?
so I think the African global, I think in the scheme of things, I want to say that
Yeah.
we are resilient people. Right? Yeah, we are faced with a lot of challenges, and regardless these challenges, we want to stay strong. We want to do our part to make sure that we contribute to the growth of the ecosystem. So generally, Africans are resilient. We are getting started. It's just getting started for us. We are still in the very nascent stages of awareness and consciousness to embrace technology, right? So, um, with the with platforms that will enable people to come on board the ecosystem, I believe that the future is very bright for Africa, right? So we're going to have some series of um, phases before we get it right. But as we are doing that, we have already existing structures, frameworks scattered across Africa, and this has really helped to launch developers into the ecosystem. And TheBuidl is one of those credible platforms, right, that is doing its best with the help of and support of partners, right, in the ecosystem to churn out the bright minds, people who really have the mental model to address and tackle issues that bedevil the space, right? So we're going to have a lot of payment rails as solutions. We're going to have a lot of infra toolings, right, that is going to address some of the problems that bedevil the ecosystem generally. So yeah, so that is what we are positioning ourselves as. So it's kind of like a multi-pronged approach. On one hand, we're going to have on one hand the best in the coming months, in the coming years, right? So I think all of the things we're having right now, we're seeing right now, is going to get better, right? So we will keep pushing, we'll keep doing our part and playing our credible role to support the growth and of the ecosystem and make our mark in the Starknet ecosystem, not just in Africa but globally. Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk about what would you say? Okay, collaboration is really important. I feel in most things in life, collaboration is important.
Yeah.
Forming partnerships and everything. What would you say? You've had any collaborations or partnerships that have been instrumental to the growth and success of the Pidu, and can you talk about this?
Well, yeah, so we've partnered with a lot of people like Starknet Africa, a very credible partner right from inception. We love the team. We see what they are doing. Horus Labs, I think, all under Starknet Africa. But at the end of the day, we are kind of like young minds looking to better African ecosystem, right? So these are our partners, and we know that they have the same drive and vision, motivation to deliver what will better the ecosystem generally. And that is what we are believing that is going to shape becoming yeah the next wave of innovation, right? So we have a couple of partners. I think only those for open source contributions, people who really have believed what we're doing. We have a couple of guys, especially in this ongoing hackathon. We have a lot of folks who are really committed to what we're doing. Web3 Africa, we have FiTech, we have Web I think we have a couple of them. We have friends from Dev 3 Park, that's Solin. We have ecosystem friends from Enugu. We have from Jos, even from Lagos, like Israel Ayo. It's a very good. We collaborate a number of times. So yeah, so these are people and Aya. Yeah, so these are people who believe that they are passionate about making their mark in the African in the African ecosystem and generally in the global ecosystem. So yeah, so these people who we found credible, delivering the goal of putting Africa on the map, right, are people who want to kind of like partner. And it's not this, we're not just limiting to these persons. We are very open to collaborate with everybody who shares the African dream, right? Putting Africa on the global map is the core goal. So we will not just end as consumers, we will be major contributors to the future of three generally. Yeah. So that is how we intend to leverage community partnerships, ecosystem partners, extend our tentacles outside of what we have currently to welcome more persons into the ecosystem and push the dream forward. So yeah.
All right, that's great. That's great. Since you started in 2022, according to you, you said there wasn't really any help. You just had
we,
to
we
like push and everything.
just to correct, we started 2021, then we
Oh,
had our first
2021.
hackathon.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, the first hackathon was in 2022. Okay, good.
Yes.
And you said when you started, there wasn't really any help. You had to like there was a bit of struggle definitely, but now seeing the video at this point and witnessing its impact, how does that make you feel? And what would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of it?
So yeah, so for me, the most rewarding part is the results, right? So when you see people knowing absolutely nothing about how to be in Web3, like they know nothing about Web3. Now they're building solutions, and their solutions are rewarding them and paving way for them to be empowered, right? That is the goal. That is for me the reward, right? That is the overwhelming joy that comes with seeing all of the devs that come around um, be light to the goal is to become light, right? So we light more candles, and those light candles light other candles, right? So it's kind of like a ripple effect. Yeah, that is for me the uhuru moment for me, right? So far we are still pushing. We are committed to long-term effect of what we're doing. I know it's going to be a long ride, but we're here for the long ride, and we're here to ensure that all of the possibilities of what Web3 can be used to achieve in Africa will be achieved based on what we're doing here as a structure. So we're going to leverage everything to ensure that, and also, by the grace of God, we're going to ensure that everything is in place to make the video a safe space and a safe community for everybody to thrive. So we're going to keep doing that, and we will look forward to what the future holds.
Yeah, great, 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 great. Okay, so we've got people watching this, and we've got young people who are just starting out and everything. What would you say is your advice to them when they want to like, if to make a mark in the Web3 space? What advice would you give them?
So I think I want to say the first thing is to join the community, right? So you want to understand how to be part of a community. So community is very important because at the end of the day, you will kind of like overcome certain hurdles when you're part of a network. So that network effect is very important. So you don't want to miss this effect in your learning journey, right? So you will learn and learn and miss if you're not part of a community. I remember when I started, I was doing the right thing, but in the wrong way, right? Until I joined the community, I didn't find any. I think it was very hard for me. Like, yeah, you can learn and learn and miss, right? You are going through the long route. Whereas there's kind of like we tested and vetted a system that works, and it is within the communities that you will be exposed to what works and how not to go the way that is not going to favor you, right? So yeah, you want to be part of the community, you want to play active role to the Discord servers of communities that are credible. You want to join Telegram. You want to pay attention to Twitter, following reputable accounts that are kind of like making the mark in the space, seeing the latest advancements, doing your own personal research. But all of this, the best advice is to be part of the community. So the community is the best bet, right? So you will um, learn the most efficient approach to understanding and mastering Web3. So yeah, so anybody watching, you're getting started in the space, you want to pay attention to credible communities that are making solid marks in the space, and follow them. And you're very certain that your the outcome of your effort is going to guarantee you the desired goal, which is for you to succeed in the space. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about legacy as we round up. What would you say is the legacy you want the builder to leave behind in the African and, as an extension, the global tech and Web3 community?
Right. So we want to leave a legacy of we want to leave that solid legacy where we light more candles, right? We are lighting candles so that those candles will light other candles. And like I said before, we're going to harness the power of collaboration with people who are really paying the price currently, right? In the space, we have these entities, we have these communities who really have made their mark in solidifying what they believe in, right, by their actions and by their fruits, right. You are seeing that they are achieving credible results, right. We want to kind of like network with these communities to deliver this overall goal of lighting candles, which is empowering people with the possibilities of this technology, and not just doing that. On the other hand, we're also going to be kind of like releasing tools that's going to make accessing Web3 easy and seamless. So yeah, so that is the overall goal. What we want to be remembered for. So basically, we're looking at the long term. We're looking at how it's going to pan out in the next 10, 15 years from now. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It has been quite nice talking to you, I'd say. And I like the advice. I like the fact that you especially talked about lighting candles. When you shine your light, you give other people the permission to shine the light, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
been great talking to you. It's been great talking to you, Dave. It's
Pleasure.
been great talking to
Yeah,
you, Dave.
yeah, yeah.
And we have come to the end of the show for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Be sure to join us same time next week, Wednesday, for another Mind Busting special. 6 p.m. next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time, which is 6 p.m. GMT plus one. It's been great having you all here. Remember to follow Starknet Africa. And like Dave said, or be a part of the community. Community is king. Community is really important. Collaboration is really important here. And until next Wednesday, see you soon.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.